Alon, Wasalan, you with the nasty pastor, and I'm back with another chapter. Chapter read from Stolen Legacy. The author, George G. M. James. You know, this is being recorded again because the storage ran out in this phone that I record on. And I found out this man, has passed. He passed in 1956. That means he wasn't. That means he wasn't even alive when when I first read it back in 1992. And like I was explaining, the cover of the book I read, Stolen Legacy, it was a blue cover with the statue of Ramses. I believe that was Ramsey on that cover. And I was, bigging this man up for republishing this and adding on to what was in the other one. And when when I go through this Stolen Legacy, you know what I mean? It's totally different. We were dealing with a lot of stuff in America. It was detailing a lot of stuff in America that you could go back into Africa. You could go into upper Africa, ancient Egypt, Kemet, and see, where it comes from. You get what I'm saying? So I say this to you again, this is a very good read, and I'm going to get into some more George G. M. James books. I just have to figure out exactly what Stolen Legacy book that I ordered really details in the inside so that it's not the same as what I have. You know what I mean? I don't want to buy the same book over again just because it's a different cover on it. So we're getting into the last part of chapter 8. I believe chapter 9 is going to be maybe a 3-part or a 2-part read, which I'm trying to figure out what's next. You know what I mean? Do I read the Papyrus of Annie, or do I go into the book Horus? You know what I mean? And I'm really leaning towards trying to get the book. What's the name of it? Let me go in here right quick. Let me go on my phone right quick so I can get the name of the book. When Women Ruled the World, 6 Queens of Egypt. You know what I mean? I think it'll be fair to transition into something about women, our goddesses, but is it the right time? You feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to do this in timing. I know that this culture we're in is probably more populated with women than men. I know these women are under the Islam flag, but I know they're searching for understanding. You got what I'm saying? They're searching for some type of understanding under this Kemite culture. In this Kemite culture. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, there's an Islam flag in the culture. You feel what I'm saying? But if you're in this Kemite culture, you should know the culture. Know it. Do not bring another culture in this Kemite culture and try to make it about something from the outside. Don't do that. Yes, this is the root. Your culture is from this root, but do not ever, please do not ever, I'm asking you, please do not ever say that this is Islam. Do not ever say that this is Baptist, Christianity, Buddhism, Catholic. Please don't do that. If you're going to explain it and be exact and be right, say it straight off. This is a branch from off of the ancient Egypt culture, from out of the African culture, from out of the Kemite culture. Say it's a branch from it. You see what I'm saying? It's a hand from out of it. You feel what I'm saying? And I want to say to you, a lot of you that have viewed the Stolen Legacy readings, you know what I mean? It would be nice, you know, for some real comments to come through. It would be nice for us to build, you know what I mean? I don't care if we have confliction, you see what I'm saying? But there's going to be something that we agree upon. And what we agree upon is what we need to push forward in this culture. You feel me? Because that has to be the fruit. If what you know and what I know have some conflict because I see Amun Ra as the devil, okay, let's get past that. My views, your views a little different right there, but there will be something that we agree upon, and that's where we work on to push the culture forward, because that's where the truth gonna lie at. You feel what I'm saying? That's where the truth is going to lie at. Look, lay at. Let me say it that way. Lay, lay at. You feel what I'm saying? Rest at. You feel me? So I say to you once again, you know what I mean? Whether you a god, whether you a goddess, whether you a man, whether you a woman, you know what I'm saying? Let's build, let's push this forward. And once again, I am the Nasty Pastor. Let's get into this last part of this chapter 8 read. And furthermore, the Greeks were unacquainted with the Egyptian language during the period of the so-called Greek philosophy dating from the 6th century BC, and as a consequence translated Egyptian words into Greek without regard to their Coptic derivatives. The following Homeric stories verify the practice of the Greeks in the transliteration of the Egyptian words and the plagiarism of their legends. That's the word plagiarism again. According to Homer, Proteus was a maritime divinity feeding his Pache on the coast of Egypt. He was endowed with the gift of prophecy, which was exercised only upon compulsion. Proteus, however, was an Egyptian pharaoh who succeeded to the throne on the death of Pharaoh, the son of Sesostris. Proteus was also worshipped at Memphis. The Greeks did not only transliterate the name of the Egyptian king, but also plagiarized on the legend. Herodotus the second. Likewise, the story of Io the Argive princess, who was changed into a heifer and after long wanderings reached Egypt, where she gave birth to a god and where she herself was worshipped as the goddess Isis, points clearly to the introduction of the worship of Isis as a Thor under the symbol of the heifer at an early period into Argos. Here it must be pointed out that Io is the Coptic name for moon, and the same word was preserved as the dialect of Argos without any affinity with any Greek root. It was a habit of the Greeks to Hellenize Egyptian words by transliterating them and adding them to the Greek philosophy. Now you see how Isis got different names. You feel what I'm saying? You get me? And I guess you know when you look up what a heifer is, let's see what a heifer is. You know what I mean? Before we before I say what I'm going to say, heifer definition. So I've heard the word used before, but I just never I have never looked the word up. You feel what I'm saying? And a heifer are female cows who have not yet given birth to a calf. Farmers can raise heifer for was first used as slang for woman or girl. Since then it took on the meaning of female who is obese. So the word obese, the understanding of obese to me is big. You get what I'm saying? And I just want to say, this, you know what I mean? So she must have been a big woman, you know what I mean? And when you look at it right here, you know what I mean? Isis look like the standard women's size. You feel what I'm saying? So she must be obese in her power. She must be obese in her intellect. She must be obese in the light of her walk that she have, given off into our culture. You feel what I'm saying? So I say this to you once again, you know what I mean? Let's look up the words. Let's figure the definition. Let's figure how it's being applied so we can get the best understanding we can get. Let's dive back in and keep it moving. This practice of borrowing words from nearby nations continued until New Testament times and Acts of Apostles of the Greek Testament. Chapter 13 and verse 1, the word not nigger, N-I-G-E-R, black man, in the same Simeon, the Negro, is a Roman or Latin word. Nigger, nigra, nigrum, meaning black. Simeon, of course, was an Egyptian professor attached to the church at Rome. Now I say this to you again, you know what I mean? You see how the word nigger, we may spell it N-I-G-G-A. You feel what I'm saying? But you see how in another culture, it's a color for real. You feel what I'm saying? It's a color. It's the color of black. It's not so much the black man. You feel what I'm saying? And to understand that it is attached to the church at Rome. You got what I'm saying? So these Romans, these Europeans, you feel what I'm saying? When they came over to America, they brought that language with them. You get it? They brought it with them. And that's probably how they saw things back before Christ, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to normalize it because I don't like to be called a nigger. I like to be called a Negro. Negro means you are an intelligent black man. Nigger, when you look it up in the dictionary, means you're dumb, you're stupid, you're unintelligent. You understand me? You get it now? You can dress it up in the way possible, but I say this to you once again. If you keep allowing people to call you something that you know you're not, you start feeling that you are. You get it? You start feeling that you are. The Atum of science is really the same of the Egyptian sun god that has come down to modern times through the so-called Greek philosophy and carries identical attributes with the sun god. It must be remembered that we were erroneously called Greek philosophy was the beginning of science or the investigation of nature, and consequently we cannot separate modern science from Greek philosophy. Now we're getting into 3, and the title is Memphite Theology Open Great Possibilities for Modern Scientific Research. The Greeks derived the meaning of the atom from a negative prefix meaning not, the present infinitive active of, to cut. The two derivatives together mean that which cannot be cut. For centuries, the world has been misled by this misconception of the Greeks, a fact which no doubt had impeded the progress of atomic research by Western scholars who had believed in the so-called Greek origin of philosophy or primitive science. Today, however, the Greek conception of the atom is no longer tenable since modern science has successfully split the atom. They did split it to look inside of it. They did. This is B part of chapter. B part. This is of this 3 we'll read. We're getting into B, and the title of B is Great Scientific Secrets in the Memphite Theology Yet to Be Discovered. I believe that the time has come within which man will be able to unlock most of the secrets of nature, hitherto hidden and unknown. I have shown that the nebular hypotheses of modern times coincides with the teachings of the Memphite theology, in which the sun god Atum is said to have created 8 other gods, which together with himself consist constitute the need of the Egyptians, which correspond to the 9 major planets of modern scientific teachings. We also know that out of the cosmic chaos, there arose from the primeval waters a pair of gods, the primordial heel and the Atum, the sun god, and that through the contact of Atum with the heel, he received power to create the other 8 major planets. This seems to imply that one, atomic energy originates from water and earth, since water, H2O, and uranium, an indispensable ingredient in atomic energy, is found in the bowels of the earth. Note that both Atum and the heel came out of the primeval waters. Okay, number 2, 4 pairs of gods representing positive and negative principles still remain in water in the form of male and female frogs and snakes, and constitute 4/5 of the secrets of creation, which man has yet to fathom. Number 3, successful scientific research in the principles and secrets of nature lies the study of the Memphite theology, whose symbology requires the key of magical principle for its interpretation. With this approach, our men of science should be able to unlock the doors of the secrets of nature and become the custodians of unlimited knowledge. I agree. With all this technology we have, with all these scholars we have, you know, if we can obtain the books translated, we should understand. We should understand the beginning of time. And there has to be more than just, you know, during Cleopatra days, you know what I mean, 50% of the world's history was destroyed. But there has to be things, you know, in that desert, under that sand, that really helps us understand what half of the world's knowledge was destroyed. You know, what was it? You get what I'm saying? This is the legacy of the African continent to the nations of the world. She has laid the cultural foundations of modern progress, and therefore she and her people deserve the honor and praise which for centuries have been falsely given to the Greeks. And likewise, it is the purpose of this book to make this revelation the beginning of a universal reformation in the race relations, which I believe will be the beginning of the solution of the problem. Excuse me. Which I believe will be the beginning of the solution of the problem of universal unrest. Now, if we can get this done by the time, you know what I mean, the end is really coming, then there will not be an end. If we can't get that done by the time, you know, the end comes, then we're going to start really understanding what social unrest is. You feel what I'm saying? You're really going to start understanding, because you're going to see it. There are going to be some things going on every day, all day, not just in America, across seas, not just in Europe, in Africa, not just in Africa, in Asia, not just in Asia, in the Middle East, not just in the Middle East, America, the East Coast, the West Coast, how to put it, the middle of the United States. You know what I mean? We talking about what would that could be considered? North, south. Put it this way. You got what I'm saying? If we can get a grip on the way we treat people, if we can get a grip on the way that we look at life and get harmonized, get on one page of understanding, then there should be no social unrest. You feel what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to go through the BS of fighting every day, the BS of arguing every day, the BS of people stealing from you. You know, you seeing all this drug activity. We shouldn't have to go through that. You feel me? Look, You've been with the Nasty Pastor. It's been another chapter read of Stolen Legacy. We just wrapped up chapter 8. We will be venturing into chapter 9. And as I said, chapter 9 may be a 3-part read. It may be a 4-part read. However, know that, this is a good book. A very good book to start your life off with in this culture. Get the understanding of this first before you get the understanding of anything else. I'm out, and I love you.